Hi class, my name is Steve Paget and I will be doing my presentation on crack addiction. Crack addiction takes many forms and it does many things and it affects your life completely. Let's go to the book of Narcotics Anonymous and see what they say. It's a 12-step fellowship where people can go and get help. It says who is an addict. I think this is the best definition. It says most of us do not have to think twice about this question. We know. A whole life in thinking was centered in drugs. And in this case, we're talking crack. The getting and using and finding ways and means to get more. We live to use and use to live. Very simply, an addict is a man or a woman whose life is controlled by drugs. We are people in the grip of a continuing and progressive disease whose ends are always the same. Jails, institution, and death. Let's talk about death for a second. See that? I don't know if you could read it, but you don't have to. This was someone I knew. His name was Bernie. Let's see. Bernie was addicted to crack. At 45 years old, I went to his memorial Monday, April 11th, 2011, you see. He could not stop. It wasn't an issue of having no money. Bernie hung himself because he could not stop smoking. And he didn't want to face anybody who cared about him and go through the things you need to go through to try to get off using drugs, to try to get off using crack. There's no single or correct or guaranteed way that you can approach someone who's addicted to crack, because a lot of times a person's not going to stop till they're ready. And even when they want to stop, they're unable to because they're unwilling to do certain things. They're unable to change their whole surroundings. A lot of times it means you have to completely give up drinking alcohol. And for some people, they just quite simply can't do it, you see, because they think they don't know how to have fun. But when crack addiction takes over, when you are a crack addict, there is no fun. Your fun is over. All you do is try to get more. You lie to people, you steal from people, you lie to yourself, more important. This game produces a powerful physical addiction. There's no therapy drug available. You see, it doesn't exist. So when you go to try to get help, they can't give you like a pill. Like, for instance, a heroin addict or an alcoholic, they'll give things to detox them so they feel a little better, so they're not physically craving or physically ill. See, crack addiction is mental. It's in the mind. It takes over brain sectors, and you just want more and more and more, and you can't stop. Let's talk about this just for today, and one of the things people do is they surrender. By surrendering control, we gain a far greater power. What does that mean? When we were using, we did everything we could to run things our way. We used every scheme imaginable to bring our world under control. When we got what we wanted, we felt powerful, invincible. When we didn't, we felt vulnerable and defeated. But that didn't stop us. It only led us to more efforts to control and manipulate our lives into a manageable state. Scheming, and for crack addicts this is big, scheming was our way, of denying the truth. As long as we could distract, we could put off accepting that we were out of control. So as long as we kept using, we never had to realize we were out of control because our brain was so sick. When we finally admitted our powerlessness, we surrendered. You surrender. You say, I'm out of control. I need some help. And you try to get better. What makes somebody a crackhead. I don't know. What makes you addicted to crack? I always thought a crack addict was somebody who couldn't have a job, who was dirty. You see, crack addicts can be the person right next to you. They can be your next door neighbor. They can be your lover. They can be your brother. They can be your father. They can be your mother. They can be your sister. It doesn't discriminate, you know. My friend Bernie over here, who hung himself because he didn't want to have to come face realities, and go through the process of becoming humble and making some changes in life to better yourself, time's the biggest factor when coming off crack cocaine, you see? Because you'll have cravings, intense cravings, for a while. That's why they recommend 12-step fellowship, based on a one day at a time type of thing. We're going to finish this off with a poem called Because It Was Fun. And we'll talk about that for a minute. Because it was fun. Was it fun staying up all night and missing work the next day? Was it fun throwing up? Was it fun when the electric got shut off? Was it fun spending all your money? Was it fun hocking your jewelry? Was it fun lying to people you loved? Was it fun begging the drug dealer for some credit and him saying no? Was it fun missing family functions? Was it fun spending the Christmas shopping money? Was it fun lying to everybody close to your heart? Was it fun robbing from your mama? Was it fun going to jail? Was it fun being homeless? Was it fun going to rehab? Was it fun getting all your things back and then doing the same thing again because you're unwilling to get humble and make some changes? So you tell me, was it fun? Because I don't ever want to have fun again. Now what that's talking about is addiction is a progressive disease. You see, you don't start out losing everything. You don't start out not being able to not make it to work or staying up all night. Your tolerance level increases the longer you use. And before you know it, when you want to stop, you cannot. And that's the difference. An addict is somebody who, when everyone else says I've had enough, yesterday they keep going. All my troubles seem so far in a vicious, insane cycle. Now it looks as and they end up either in jail or an institution, rehab facility if they're lucky, or dead. I'm not half the man I used to be. There's a shadow